The machete is 3 inches from your throat, and the man holding it smells like gasoline and yesterday's tequila. His eyes are black holes that swallowed mercy a long time ago. You are kneeling in dirt that is more blood than soil, hands zip-tied behind your back, and the only thought screaming through your mind is this: how did a corporate accountant from Ohio end up on their knees in a Sinaloa kill house? But here is the thing. You are not actually an accountant anymore, because 48 hours ago, you made the catastrophic mistake of thinking you could disappear into Mexico with your firm's embezzled $3 million. You thought you were clever. You were cosmically stupid. The machete man is not even the boss. He is just the guy they send when they want to make a point before they make you vanish. Then behind him stands a woman in her 30s wearing a Versace blazer over tactical pants, her manicured nails tapping against a gold-plated Glock. Her name is Lorena, though nobody calls her that to her face unless they are suicidal or already dead. She tilts her head, studying you like a scientist examines a particularly disappointing lab rat. Then she smiles. It is the kind of smile that makes your intestines tie themselves into knots. She waves the machete away with 2 fingers. You are not being spared. You are being recruited. This is somehow infinitely worse. Lorena explains your new reality in a voice smooth as aged whiskey and twice as poisonous. The cartel traced your embezzled millions within 6 hours of you crossing the border. They let you run exactly far enough to think you might actually make it. And they own the hotel you stayed at. They own the cop you bribed. They own the smuggler you paid to get you further south. Every step of your brilliant escape plan was a choreographed humiliation, and now the bill has come due. You have 2 options. Option 1, they kill you, dump your body in a barrel of acid, and your family back in Ohio spends the rest of their lives wondering if you are living it up on a beach somewhere. Option 2, you work for them until your debt is paid. The debt, by the way, is now $8 million because they are charging interest and fees for the operational costs of tracking your dumbass across 3 states. You choose option 2. Obviously, this is not bravery. This is the basic human instinct to postpone your own gruesome murder for as long as mathematically possible. Lorena nods like she knew you would fold. Everyone does. She snaps her fingers, and 2 men cut your zip ties and drag you to your feet. Your legs feel like they are made of wet newspaper. Welcome to the organization, she says. Your training starts now. Training, it turns out, is not a week-long orientation with PowerPoint presentations. It is being thrown directly into the fire and either learning to dance or burning alive. They start you on the lowest rung of the cartel ladder. Halcon. Look out. Your job is to sit in a rusted pickup truck on a dusty road intersection for 18 hours a day, watching for military convoys, rival cartel vehicles, or any law enforcement that has not already been bought and paid for. You get a burner phone that only makes 1 call. If you see trouble, you call it in. If you fall asleep, you die. And if you call in a false alarm, you die. If you miss a real threat, everyone dies, and then they resurrect you just to kill you again, more creatively. The phone weighs about 4 ounces, but it feels like holding a live grenade. Your first week, nothing happens. You sit in 110-degree heat that turns the truck cabin into a mobile oven, drinking warm bottled water and pissing into empty Gatorade bottles because leaving your post even for 90 seconds is a fireable offense, and being fired here means being fired upon. You learn that boredom is not the absence of danger. Boredom is its own kind of torture, the psychological waterboarding of waiting for violence that might explode from any direction at any moment. You watch farmers drive by on tractors. You watch kids walk to school. You watch life happening like the world is normal. You're like 3 miles down this road. There is not a compound full of men who kill people the way you used to kill time scrolling Instagram. Week 2, you see your first convoy. 3 black SUVs with tinted windows, moving fast but not recklessly. Your hand shakes so badly you almost drop the phone. You call it in. The voice on the other end is calm, almost bored. He asks you details. How many vehicles? Which direction? How fast? You stammer out answers. He hangs up without saying thank you or good job, or you are not going to die today. 5 minutes later, you hear gunfire in the distance. It sounds like firecrackers, but deeper, meaner. You sit in your truck and stare at your hands and realize they are someone else's hands now. Hands that just helped orchestrate an ambush. Hands with blood on them even if they never touched a weapon. Or surviving as a halcon earns you a promotion, which is like saying surviving cancer earns you a different cancer. You become a mullah, a drug runner. They give you a Honda Civic with a hidden compartment welded under the chassis, packed with 30 kilos of crystal meth wrapped in coffee grounds and axle grease to throw off the dogs. Your route is a 6-hour drive through 3 cartel territories and 2 police checkpoints. You have cash for the police. You have nothing for rival cartels except prayers they do not decide. Today is the day to send a message by lighting your car and you on fire. The first checkpoint, the cop does not even look at you. You slide him an envelope through the window. He counts it without opening it, some kind of tactile braille system for bribe amounts, and waves you through. The second checkpoint is different. You, the cop, is young, new, and he has not yet learned that idealism is a luxury you cannot afford in Sinaloa. He wants to search your car. You feel your bladder try to evacuate itself. You remember what Lorena said. If you get caught, we do not know you. If you talk, we know where your mother lives. The young cop pops your trunk. He is about to get more thorough when his partner, older and infinitely wiser to the game, pulls him back with a hand on his shoulder and a look that could cut glass. They wave you through. You drive away trembling so hard you nearly veer into a ditch. 6 months in, you are no longer the terrified accountant from Ohio. You are something else. Something that watches execution videos without flinching. Something that sleeps with a pistol under your pillow and wakes up every morning surprised you woke up at all. The cartel operates like a corporation designed by Satan's MBA program. There are hierarchies, territories, quarterly profit margins measured in tons of product moved and bodies dropped. There are performance reviews conducted at gunpoint. There is office politics, except the backstabbing is sometimes literal. You meet others like you, people who stumbled into this world and discovered the only exit is in a body bag. There is Elena, a former lawyer who defended a cartel member and did her job too well, uncovering prosecution corruption. Now she runs legal interference for shipments. There is Miguel, a mechanic who modified 1 too many cars for the wrong people and now modifies all of them. There is Carmen, a teenager recruited at 14, who is now 19 and has eyes like burned-out buildings. You do not make friends. You make temporary alliances with fellow ghosts, haunting the same purgatory. The violence is not constant. That is the trick of it. If it were constant, you would go numb or insane, or both, and become useless. Instead, it is sporadic, random, a roulette wheel of brutality that keeps everyone in a state of electrified terror. You go 3 weeks without seeing blood and start to think, maybe you are going to make it. Then someone gets executed in the courtyard for skimming product, and you are required to watch because bearing witness is part of the organizational culture. They make an example, so everyone else stays in line. The math is simple. 1 death prevents 100 thefts. This is efficiency. This is business. Lorena takes a liking to you, which is either salvation or damnation, depending on the day. She pulls you into her inner circle, makes you her assistant, which means you carry her phone and her bag and sometimes her gun. You learn she has a daughter in private school in Guadalajara who thinks her mother imports textiles. You learn she sends money to her hometown's church every month. You learn she once spent 3 hours torturing a man who hurt one of her girls and then went to Mass the next morning. She contains multitudes, and every single one of them is terrifying. Your debt, somehow, never decreases. They keep adding expenses, the cost of your training, the cost of your food, the cost of your protection from rivals who would love to kidnap and ransom or simply dismember someone close to Lorena. You are 17 months in, and you owe more now than when you started. This is not a bug in the system. This is the system. You are not working off a debt. You are living a sentence with no end date, no parole board, no time off for good behavior. You think about running. Everyone thinks about running. But you have seen what happens to runners. You have helped clean up what is left of runners. The cartel has a saying, you can leave in a coffin or you can leave in pieces, but you do not leave whole. So you do not run. You survive. You adapt. You become fluent in the language of violence, the currency of fear, the economics of brutality. You learn to read people like spreadsheets, calculating risk and reward in fractions of seconds. You learn that loyalty is not earned through trust, but through mutually assured destruction. Everyone has leverage on everyone else. Everyone is insurance against everyone else's betrayal. Some nights, while lying in whatever safe house you are currently occupying, you think about the accountant you used to be, the man who wore khakis and worried about quarterly reports and thought embezzling $3 million was the most daring thing he would ever do. That man is dead. You killed him the moment you chose option 2. What is left is something harder, sharper, carved from necessity and terror into a shape that can survive in a world where human life is cheaper than the bullets used to end it. You are not proud of what you have become, but you are alive, and in the world's most violent cartel, alive is the only victory that counts.